Hit record. Hey, welcome everyone. My name is JR. I'm the founder and owner of Business Leaders Network. And every week we get on here, we do a roundtable. We love to highlight other entrepreneurs who are out there making a good impact in the world. And today we have Lisa Drennon with the Wealth Activator on here today to learn more about who she is, what she's doing, and the impact that she's making. So, Lisa, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, JR.
Absolutely. Well, why don't we start out with learning more about the impact you're making? Why don't you share with our audience? Tell us more about who you are, what you do, the impact that you're making, and how you're making a difference in the world.
Yeah, well, at 22, which I'm really far away from now, I was a single mom who was working two jobs, trying to make ends meet. I was a bankruptcy paralegal, and lo and behold, racked up $32,000 worth of debt, filed for bankruptcy, and stood in front of the judge who said, "You are too young to be here. Learn everything you can about finances." So I did. And I restricted myself, set up all these little money buckets known as the money envelope system way back in the 90s, and thought, I am so bad with money. Money just burns a hole in my pocket, and I need to make more money. So I was working full time. I had a wonderful career with the Social Security Administration, and I was a treasurer for three not-for-profits. Plus, I was selling Avon literally door to door, and it still wasn't enough money. And I got to the point, fast forward to my 40s, and 0% credit cards were introduced to me. Now, I don't like credit cards because I had already racked up all that debt, but I got addicted to it somehow and hid it from my spouse, who almost divorced me, accused me of financial infidelity. And I had no clue at that point how much money I had racked up. And I thought, what is wrong with me? Because I was a certified money coach and I was helping people with their finances. And here I was with debt, too afraid to look at it. And I realized I had a relationship with money problem, not a cash flow problem. And so at that time, I had moved online to start a coaching business, and I was working with a marketing coach who said, "I want you to start in the money management module." I'm like, or money mindset module. I was like, money mindset? What's that? Money's math, not mindset. And so I got introduced to hypnotherapy and art and decided to hire this coach to help me with my own journey and realized I was spending out of emotion and to fill this void. And when I did look at my debt, I actually painted it. I realized I did not rack up debt in an irresponsible way. I did good things with it. And I had the money. And when I did it, I created an art piece of my money. And I realized I had become a multimillionaire, even though I had all this debt and I had no clue because I wasn't paying attention. And from there, I Date Money was born. It's like, wait a minute, how many women, how many entrepreneurs have this problem thinking that they don't have enough money when they're just not paying attention, they're not organizing, they're not managing their money?
That's very cool. Yeah, and it's so funny that you talk about like the relationship with money because I feel I see a lot of entrepreneurs is like that's one of the biggest troubles is like they get in it, they make money, but they don't know how to manage it. They don't know how to make
Mhm.
money. But it's one of those things like, hey, I made a lot of money, so I'm going to take a vacation, I'm going to take time off, or I'm going to do this, and they're just not knowing. I mean, I've been in that boat where it's like I just not managing it properly or whatever like that, and you got to be able to look at it and know what's going on. And I'm sure you could speak all day on that. But why don't you? It's a serious problem, that I see
Right.
in the as with leaders, entrepreneurs, and homes, and there's just not enough education. Like there's education out there, but not enough, and to teach and to help and stuff like that. So why don't you share one of your best client success stories? Where were they at when they started with you? What did you help them achieve?
Oh, just one? I have so many. Let's see. So, a lot of women, I work with multi-passionate female entrepreneurs who come to me. They have the assets, they have multiple income streams, but they feel broke. They feel like there's not enough money. They're hustling in their business. So, one client I had working with me, she had $25,000 worth of debt. She had three businesses going at once, and none of them were hitting their profit margin. So we cleaned everything up, we organized her finances, and within 3 weeks, she paid off the $25,000 worth of debt. She invested $50,000 into a real estate adventure that she was looking to do. But more importantly, she wanted to take a trip, and she was thinking she didn't have enough money to do it, and she was able to take a 3-week trip to Greece. So that was like rapid movement. She was ready to make the move. And I'm a certified aromatherapy practitioner. So we use the power of essential oils with our thoughts and feelings to create her own emotional journey with money. And her whole thing was that she was making good money. She was just reinvesting it back into her business. And for her, that meant buying things that she didn't need. So all the shiny objects. And once she realized she was making unaligned, not, she was making purchases that weren't aligned with her goals and her values. And once she realized that, she was able to redirect it and say, you know what? I don't want to, buy this shiny object, this course, this product, or whatever. I want to go on this trip. I want to save money. I want to, buy this piece of real estate so I can generate more income.
What is your secret sauce if you're able to share? So, because you mentioned something that you just cleaned it up, do you use like the zero credit card type mentality to move things around? Do you use debt collectors, which I don't think you do, but what? I mean, you don't have to share your whole secret sauce, but what is a simple step that someone listening be like, you know what, this really resonates with me. Where should they start?
hmm Organize your money. So we call it own your money, where you organize your finances into a strategic money map, knowing exactly where it goes. So I always say start with your profit margin and then work backwards. How do you want to spend it? What's it going to take for you to hit that profit margin goal? Separating your business income finances from your personal is number one key because a lot of entrepreneurs will commingle their funds. And then we implement a system where, depending on the gross receipts, depends on, they're always going to pay themselves first. They're always going to put a money aside for a profit, and then their taxes, operating expenses. And when they pay themselves, that gets transferred over to their personal money, and where we apply the money multiplier system, which is 30% income goes for fund savings and giving. 20% goes for investment. If there's debt, that goes towards debt. And then 50% is for our needs and wants. And those percentages can vary depending on where that person's at. But it's just strategically declaring, I want this and making the moves because it'll take you as long as you think it'll take you. But if you don't know what you want, I paid off $100,000 worth of debt in 6 months. Once I realized I had it, and yeah, we love to finagle 0% credit cards because who wants to pay interest? But those 0% and they expire. And knowing how to finagle it so that you can build out your investments, a lot of people think, oh, I have to pay down my debt before I can save. That's a lie. You can do it simultaneously.
Hmm.
You just have to look at where are you spending your money. I have a money hunt challenge in my community, and it's in 3 days, people can find a minimum of $500 of where money leaks. Most of it's in subscriptions. Oh, it's only $7. It's only $3. Those add up. When you start to think, wow, I spend $500 a month on subscriptions, and you probably don't even use half of them, or they're duplicates. And so once you realize where your money's going, it's so easy just to direct it and say, okay, you are going to have this job over here. I always like to say you're the CEO, the CFO of your company. Would you fire yourself? Are you doing a good job where you're making money, or should you be fired?
No, that's really good. So, what separates you from all your competition, and like what makes you different from everyone?
I've experienced it firsthand. I've walked that path. I've been in debt and out of debt. I became a self-made multimillionaire just by implementing my money multiplier system, paying myself first and strategically investing. I did more than 20%. But using the aromatherapy, I think, has really been the push that really helps people because we don't realize that spending patterns are emotional patterns that we've inherited from our ancestors. Everything that we know about finances has been passed down. There's no course that any of us took. Very few of us took a course. And what we don't know, we can't implement. And so I know a lot of entrepreneurs start their business without a business plan, without a financial plan. They have no idea what their funnel system is, and they think they're going to make a lot of money. Stop that. Becoming an entrepreneur does not mean making a lot of money initially. You have to work your way. You have to go through the process. You have to build that know, like, trust factor. You have to have all the pieces working, but you ultimately need to know what the bottom line is. What do I want to make for my profit margin? And I see a lot of people in my industry who will focus on one thing, investments, retirement planning, your funnel system, but they don't put it all together. They don't show you the big wealth picture and say, okay, this is how you get from A to B, and here's the shortcut, and this is how we're going to do it.
That's really cool. So, who are the type of people that you like to work with? I mean, is it just the everyday person just saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm struggling with debt. I want to know how to get out of it," or do you have a specific type of individuals that you enjoy working with the best?
I love working with multi-passionate women who have multiple income streams, who have some investments that know and are ready. They know that they have a money issue. They know that they're overspending, and they may have some debt, but it's controllable, and they have the money to pay, but they think that they don't, so they use their credit cards, and then their money goes for things like spending what they call irresponsibly, but really they're not. It's just that they don't know because they haven't seen it in black and white. So those are my most favorite people to work with.
That's awesome. How can someone get in touch with you?
idatemoney.com.
Oh, that's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, everyone, if you are out there listening and you're hearing from Lisa and this resonates with you and you're like, man, that is me. I really need help getting out of debt. I really need help on figuring out my money situation. And you want to connect with her, make sure you go to idatemoney.com, connect with Lisa, schedule that call, and see where that conversation goes. So if there's anyone else out there, if this resonates with you, or if you are saying, hey, you know what, I want to be on one of your guys' roundtables, I would love to get my message out there. Make sure you reach out to me, comment below this video, no matter where you're at, and put BLN Impact, and I'll send you the information on how you can be a next guest on one of our shows. Until next time, Simplify.